play a video for all of y'all, but yes, I can see all of y'all have started introducing yourself.
Did you know that Indian e-commerce exports are expected to grow to $125 billion by 2030? Federation of Indian Export Organizations, in its constant endeavor to help Indian exporters grow, is pleased to introduce an e-commerce marketplace to support our Indian exporters get global visibility. Federation of Indian Export Organizations, in partnership with Global Linker, launches Indian Business Portal, an international trade hub for Indian exporters and foreign buyers. Indian Business Portal is focused on promoting exports from all Indian states, showcasing India's strength in wide range of products and services, encouraging virtual meetings between buyers and sellers, providing a trusted network to foreign buyers. Finally, fueling the growth of Indian exporters through e-commerce. Buyers and sellers can trade in 4,500 plus product categories. Special focus on empowering Indian artisans, farmers and producers, dealing in over 370 Indian geographical indication categories. Over 30,000 unique products and services are already listed, and more are getting listed every day. Indian exporters and SMEs can join Indian Business Portal to get a free e-commerce website with international payments and logistics, showcase their products and services in different categories and currencies, accept orders and inquiries from foreign buyers, get support and assistance from FIEO and Global Linker teams. Join as a seller in 3 easy steps. Visit Indian Business Portal and click on List Products. Verify your importer-exporter code, add business and product details. Activate payments and logistics. Foreign buyers can register too. Find all verified suppliers at one place. Browse from various categories and products. Interact directly with suppliers. Get support and assistance from FIEO. Join as a buyer in 3 easy steps. Register yourself as a buyer. Add your business information. Choose categories that you are interested in. FIEO will promote the marketplace worldwide to help Indian exporters, SMEs, artisans promote their products and services globally. Come on board and create your business profile today on the Indian Business Portal, www.indianbusinessportal.in. To get started, FIEO is inviting more than 5,000 foreign buyers from different countries to register on Indian Business Portal. Join Indian Business Portal. List your products and services now. Register as a seller. Did you know?
Truly an amazing opportunity for exporters that FIEO has brought to all Indian exporters today. So I had goosebumps when I was seeing it for the first time, and I'm sure each one of you are excited as well. We will start in 1 or 2 minutes because I can see all of y'all are using the chat box, introducing yourself. One thing I'd like to mention is please use the Q&A section to pose any question to Mr. Ashish Jain. We will have a 15 to 20 minutes section towards the end of the session to answer all your queries. I will just go ahead and tell you a little about why we are doing this session today. Firstly, I'm Malvika Jaggi and I'm representing FIEO Global Linker, which most of you know is an SME business networking platform with over 4 lakh plus SMEs. Now, it is indeed a free solution. One is it's easy to join and it's quick to implement for each one of you, but it is an invitation only program. And I'm happy to tell you that all of y'all are invited by Federation of Indian Export Organizations to be a part of this program. If you've not already registered your business, I will put in the link or the URL in the chat box. So go ahead and register your business and connect with all these other businesses, talk about your business, source new maybe raw material providers, suppliers, any achievements, new product launches. All of that today is already happening. share your knowledge, expertise, and then gain business opportunities. Now, the idea for the platform is to make SMEs, small and medium enterprises, discoverable and transaction ready in this digital era. So, while we have a lot of people joined in today, let me tell you, this is an initiative called the Global Linker Growth Talks Initiative. And as you know, growth never takes place by mere chance. It is honestly the result of various forces coming together. And our series today brings together the forces of industry specialists and domain experts to share practical knowledge with all of you, our growing community. So I'm pleased to introduce to you Mr. Ashish Jain, the Director General at Federation of Indian Export Organizations. He has over 25 years of experience, rich experience in international trade promotion, capacity building programs, and organizing buyer-seller meets. He has also organized a number of multi-sector business delegations in various countries. He is today spearheading the international trade division of the FIEO, as well as he has been in various international trade shows globally over this year. Mr. Jain regularly interacts with the various ministries and departments and provides feedback of the members on various international trade issues for their addresses. He also visits various management institutions to give information about the various facets of international trade to students and encourages them to be a part of this growing sector. Without further delay, I think, Mr. Ashish, we're all pleased to have you here today. And I think the audience can't wait. It's been a very awaited session, and I think we'll just deep dive into it now.
Thank you, Malvika, for your introduction as well as for your initiations. You have rightly set the tone for today's session. In fact, I do understand, because we have initially postponed this session because of some unavoidable circumstances. Nevertheless, we are here today to talk about, in fact, I would not teach about anything, because there's nothing to be taught about. I would just like to share my experience, last 25 years of experience in Federation of Indian Export Organizations, and how the international market works, particularly in relation to organizing of the trade fairs, exhibitions, buyer-seller meet, basically to how to penetrate international market in a nutshell, because everything boils down to the fact that how are we able to penetrate and access international market, emerging markets, as well as the potential markets. Just to correct you, I'm Deputy Director General of the Federation of Indian Export Organization and heading international trade division. And by virtue of my position in the organization, I have been given a lot of opportunities to move in various parts of the world, understand the market requirements, dynamics, as well as the emerging trade trends, as well as buying behaviors. Before we start there's a small presentation which I have made based upon my own experiences in the last 25 years and so. I would
just
like
one thing, Mr. Ashish, we're getting a lot of responses that say your audio is very low. Okay. For me also, it's slightly low. So I think if you can just get the mic towards your...
So I have now increased my volume. Are you able to...
That's much better. Yes.
Audio better? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So before I generally go for my full-fledged presentation, I would like to apprise the audience. In fact, I would like to compliment all the audience also who have taken this time today to have an understanding of the international trade behavior, particularly through international shows, exhibitions, and buyer-seller meets. I would like to just apprise about the environment where we are in today as of now, because when we are talking about exports, we must understand the global scenario as well as our domestic scenario. That would give us an indication, and that will also give us a motivation why we should be getting into international trade. And if we are getting into international trade, obviously I understand that many of you people must be already into international trade or must be planning to start their international ventures. So we must understand the environment in which we are at present. As we all know that 2 years have been very difficult for the world economy on account of COVID-19 pandemic, and there have been repeated waves of infections, supply chain disruption, and many more recently. Particularly inflation have created challenging times for all the policy making. However, just like to apprise you that it is quite encouraging to note that in the global trade update, that is the Geneva-based agency UNCTAD, have said that the global trade in goods and services touched a record high of $28.5 trillion in 2021. That was almost 13% up from the pre-pandemic levels. This was boosted by the increase in commodity prices, subsiding pandemic restrictions, and a very strong recovery in demand due to economic stimulus provided by various governments across the globe. India also witnessed a recovery in economic activity and rebounded strongly in fiscal 2021, striking a path that is diverging from the global developments, owing to the governments of India's immediate response with a bouquet of safety nets to cushion the impact on the vulnerable sections of the society and the business sector. And as a result, we have seen that the Indian economy is poised to grow at the quickest pace among the league of large nations on the back of various initiatives taken by the government. We also like to congratulate all the exporters, policymakers, as well as the institutional support which we have got from all the stakeholders, that we were able to achieve a remarkable milestone of crossing $400 billion mark for the first time in 2021. And we touched almost $421 billion marks, and we had achieved a growth of 45% in exports as compared to the previous financial year. And we almost added $130 billion of exports compared to the previous fiscal. And we must mention here that there is no doubt that exports are now set to transform the Indian economy in a significant way, and we must acknowledge its role in the economic development of the country. And we just need to build on it. And as a government, as a policy maker, government are doing a lot of efforts in this direction by signing various free trade agreements, signing comprehensive economic partnership in the past, and they are in the process of signing many more in the current financial year. And I will be talking a little bit about how these comprehensive partnership agreement and free trade agreements help in further boosting our bilateral trade. Also,
sir, if I can interrupt
yeah,
again, I think the wire is on your mic.
Yeah.
We're getting a lot of queries saying that it's still very low.
I am able to, are you able to hear me now better?
Yes, that's better.
Okay, sorry for the interruptions. In fact, if we see the recent export figures, we achieved around $40 billion in the month of April and $38.94 billion in the month of May, in the first two financial month of the fiscal. And it really shows the continuous impressive performance of the export sector. The outstanding accomplishment of the exporters have consistently not only helped the country to reap rich dividend, but we, with all support and our endeavor, we will definitely be achieving a $5 trillion economy by 2025. And starting the fiscal with such an impressive beginning will further add to the motivation of the exporting community for much higher growth during the financial year. Just to give you an idea of what are the sectors which has performed well in the first 2 months, some of the sectors were engineering goods, electronic goods, organic and inorganic chemicals, ready-made garments, textiles, gems and jewelry, drugs and pharmaceuticals, leather products, coffee, cereal preparations, labor-intensive sectors like export, which also contributed to the export baskets and also helped in creating the job in our country. Friends, as I told you that the present economic global environment requires more initiatives and aggressiveness. There are a lot of changes happening across the globe, and we must also be creative and must be visible in engaging with business community across the globe. Here, the importance of understanding the role as well as importance of participating in the international fairs and why we should participate in international fairs. What benefit does it brings to all the Indian companies? We will just be discussing on that. I would like to share my screen on the brief presentation.
Absolutely.
Malvika, presentation is visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you. Let me begin with the contents which I in fact plan to share with all you. First and foremost is about the trade fairs and exhibitions. Why trade fairs and exhibition? What is the global scenario? Types of the exhibitions, impact of exhibitions on the industry and on the country as a whole. Why participate in exhibitions, trade fairs, buyers and meets? What are the benefits that will accrue to the companies? How to find the best exhibitions for your business? Which are the regions where the most of the visitors as well as exhibitors participate, that will give you an idea of formulating your own strategy in terms of participating in the trade fairs and exhibition. Which are the top markets which generally go for which organizes these trade fairs and exhibitions, and how to prepare for an exhibition. This is an important aspect. When we go for an exhibition, what important element we must keep in our mind so as to have an effective outcome from our participation. Let me now inform about the exhibition industry as a whole. It is a US dollar 137 billion industry. Exhibitors and visitors generally spend approximately US dollar 137 billion on exhibitions each year. These figures, I would just like to mention here that these figures are old figures, not new figures, because as we all know that last 2 years have been because of the pandemic. Lot of in fact most of the exhibitions did not happen, and all the exhibitions were closed now due to now because of the slowly lifting of the restrictions across the globe. We are now witnessing again the starting of these exhibitions. I will let you know about the FIEOs. In fact, how many FIEO, how many exhibitions and trade fairs FIEO has participated in the last 2 years, and what are the plans of FIEO in my subsequent a slide. Exhibitions contribute to economic and social development of the country, because exhibition itself is not a single industry. There are a lot of other industries allied to it, be it airlines industry, be it hotel industry, be it logistic industry. If any exhibition is not held, in fact, it affects all the allied industries together. So if any exhibition of this industry is halted, then it has an impact on the overall economic as well as social development of the country, because it leads to losses in jobs of the related sectors, which we have witnessed in the past also. MICE industry has been the one of the worst industry which got affected because of this COVID, and now we are slowly witnessing the re-emergence and reoccurrence of this industry again. Although it is slow, but we are seeing fast pace in the near future as more and more countries are lifting their restrictions. Exhibitions and trade fairs influence the patterns of consumption and consumer behaviors, because when you go and participate and when you witness yourself, go and see the different stands as well as booth and the products which are there displayed there, you get to know about what are the how the new product is being produced in the market, what are the consumer behaviors, how the visitors comes and buys these products. So you see a lot of different products being displayed in the market, and that defines also your buying behavior, because you may find some new innovative product with better quality as well as better products which you may not have used in the past. So your consumption patterns in fact changes as well as it get affected by the different booths and different products which are displayed. It helps also diminish the business inequality and enable gathering of corporate leaders at one place, irrespective of the business turnover as well as inequalities in the business profile. Exhibition is a place where everyone can display and demonstrate their products. So this is a one place, one medium where everyone and anyone can go and participate. Although there are few exhibitions and few organizers which pre-select the exhibits before allowing any of the exhibitors to display their products in the particular exhibitions. Exhibitions have stood the test of the time as a sustainable and effective way of doing business. This is one of the effective ways, in fact, of doing business, because you get to connect with the new buyers as well as you get to connect with the new people, and you get to know many more networking people, so that you can enhance your business. And they have a substantial impact on the industry they cater. As you know that, as we have seen in the past, and we witness also whenever we go in any of the trade show, particularly the motor show as well as the car shows, the new and new models, etc., the new products which are displayed there, it in fact they have an impact on the industry, how they can be used in the future. So it plays a very important vital role in changing the consumption pattern as well as impacting the industry as a whole. Let us now understand the key statistics of trade fairs and exhibitions. As per the UFI trade statistic, which is one of the global body for organizing trade fairs and exhibitions, overall 32,000 exhibitions are organized globally in a year. This is what we talk about. This is a huge number. This happens all across the globe. And the number of exhibiting companies, if we see, there are more than 4.5 million companies that participate each year in all these exhibitions altogether. In terms of the footfall, there are approximately 303 million visitors visit these exhibitions. By the numbers you can identify, these are the 303 million buyers, I would call it. When you go there and participate, you can have an interaction with them. This is the type of the number which we witness in these exhibitions, and that is why we say, wow, how important, and we can understand how important any exhibition or any event could be there. And each year the combined business output, if you analyze the combined business output, like how much the business is generated, maybe in terms of the sales or direct or indirect, that is roughly around $325 billion, which is a huge number in terms of the business output when we analyze it with other businesses. Now, if we see the impact of the industry of the exhibitions, we see that exhibition industry as such contribute roughly to $81 billion to the world GDP, through, as I told you, by the output we have talked about, and it creates roughly 1.3 million total jobs, and out of that it has roughly 5 lakh direct job. It was created in 2018. As I told you, this is an older number. And we could see that the output multiplier of the exhibition industry in direct and indirect induces expenditure is 2.37. By output multiplier, I would like to mention that when $1 in direct exhibition is spent, it generally create an additional $1.37 in direct and induced expenditure in the global economy. So this is what we mean by output multiplier of the exhibition. It has a good impact, I would say. And if we understand, North America and Europe are the top regions in terms of exhibitions direct spending. I would also like to, in my last slide, it will also be shown that which are the important regions and which are the top most important regions where the exhibitions as well as the visitors come. Let us also understand the type of the exhibition, which is very important because that would give you an idea in which type of exhibitions we need to go. Overall, if we see, before pandemic, there were primarily two types of trade shows which used to happen. One is, as everybody must be knowing, B2B trade shows. B2B trade shows are the shows where only business visitors comes. Exhibitors generally display their samples, and there is no retail sale allowed. Retail sale on the off the counter sales are not allowed, and these are the majority of the trade shows which are organized all across the globe. Second type of the trade shows before COVID time were B2C retail shows, where the exhibitors were allowed to sell their products off the counters, and there were visitors coming in large numbers. They could have the exhibitions could have B2B visitors also, but primarily those exhibitions were focusing on B2C. That means business to consumers retail shows. Generally, these retail shows are not organized quite in large number. They are generally being appropriate for the MSME sector because it generally gives them an idea of how their products would be acceptable in the market. Then there, after pandemic, we could see that since the physical exhibitions were not happening across the globe, in fact the industry came up with an idea of organizing virtual exhibitions. In fact, FIEO also organized a lot of virtual exhibitions during the pandemic time. In fact, the best advantage of these virtual exhibitions were that these were the replica of the physical exhibition. All the booths were set up or were designed in the same format. There was interactive video chat. There was all the interactive mediums were utilized by the use of the technology, and a lot of people were able to get connect with the respective buyers across the globe. And this was in fact the stopgap arrangement, because of late we got to know that virtual exhibitions are good in terms of getting connected, but when we talk about getting the real business, then generally the buyers is more interested in looking at the product, have the feel of the product, have the touch of the product, and would like to directly contact with the supplier. Even the supplier would like to have a direct contact with the buyer in the physical or in-person format. But nevertheless, these kind of the exhibitions, virtual exhibitions, will continue to be organized in the futures, depending upon the requirement as well as depending upon the situations. In addition, another format of the exhibition which emerged out of the pandemic time was a hybrid show. What do you mean by hybrid shows? Hybrid shows means they are both in the virtual as well as physical format. For example, I have a show in Japan. The exhibition is happening in the physical format in proper place, but some of the companies may, for example, maybe from India, they are not able to go, maybe because of some quarantine issues or maybe some other issues. And the company has taken a full-fledged stand, and where they have their representative, local representative from here, sitting from India. They can have an interaction with any visitor through their representative in Japan. So this kind of the format is called a hybrid format, where there is a combination of both virtual as well as physical existence of an event. These type of shows are also we are witnessing, they are coming up in number. These are also useful for MSME sector. It generally reduces a cost of participation to some extent, as you are not making expenditure on travel, logistics, as well as hotel and other arrangements. So generally that kind of wherever we feel that wherever it is the requirement of such kind of a thing, hybrid people and companies go and participate in hybrid shows as well. And besides that, there are shows which are held on an annual basis, which are held on a biannual basis, and which are held on the biannual basis. Biannual basis once in a 2 years. Biannual basis means twice in a year, and annual, as we all know, once in a year. Depending upon the products as well as requirement as well as seasons, these exhibitions are organized. Generally for the textile and apparel shows, annually biannual events are organized, because they have a different requirement for different seasons. And for technology driven products, the exhibitions are organized in a biannual basis, because generally it takes time to come out with a new technologically developed or new technologically advanced product as well as the services. So generally these are the background through on the basis of which the duration of any event is finalized by the organizers. Why participate in exhibition? One of the very key and important question of the industry, and in fact of the exporters. First and foremost, I would like to apprise that this is one of the best way to penetrate any market. You are able to reach to the buyer, and you are not able you get to meet lot many buyers at one place. So I'll just give you in a nutshell what all benefits are there of participating in the exhibition. Exhibitions, what impact they give on the industries? First and foremost, as everybody knows, and as I would like to again mention here, that you are able to meet more customers. Exhibitions are in fact a perfect opportunity to network, to discover more clients and generate new leads. Trade shows serve as a specialized marketing tool, and in fact to design and accelerate relationship building and sales by linking buyers, sellers, and other stakeholders from common industries. It is one of the best, in fact, return on investment. How? Trade shows are the most accessible practice for connecting to new markets. Trade shows have higher rate of interest than direct marketing and advertising, because you don't need to go to different buyers or different countries to locate and to meet buyers. When you go and participate in any of the show in any of the countries, it is not necessary that you will be able to meet a buyer from that particular country. As a organizer, as a global exhibitions, you are able to meet buyers from all across the globe. There have been a lot of exhibitions where FIEO and where other other organizations go and participate, where the Indian companies or the exhibitors are able to meet the local buyers as well as the buyers from different parts, nearby regions, as well as from the other parts of the globes. And in fact the live shows also personal contact. As I told you, live shows in the physical format allows you to have the personal contact with the buyer, and the nature of the trade show also provides a unique opportunities for the direct personal contact, which is very critical in fact for business relations and closing on the deals. By sitting here, it may not be possible to close the deal. Once you meet a person in person and you interact with them, and even if the buyer would like to have a have a touch of the product, would like to negotiate with you in terms of the size, in terms of the price, in terms of the colors, and also it is the best way. It is one of the most impactful way of connecting with the right persons and get business deals. Not only trades, these exhibitions and these trade shows are not only used for enhancing of the business, they are also used for inviting investors. Of late, we have seen that a lot many shows, the state level participation we have seen, where the state governments go and participate. They take a big space over there, and they also display what all potential as well as opportunities are there in their particular respective state. In some of the shows, in fact, we also have created a India pavilion, where we come out with as a mini India theme, which gives all the important as well as potential product as well as the investment opportunities for the country. So these exhibitions and these trade shows are also the medium to attract investment in our countries, and these have proved quite useful in the past, and we continue to see that. And we have been witnessing a lot of interest from the state level and the state governments to come and participate in these exhibitions and to showcase their capabilities as well as potential. And one of the important aspect of exhibitions as well as the benefits, I would say, is that they act as a critical market study. Even when you go and participate in any of the exhibitions, it is not only you who are participating, there are other countries who are participating, there are competitors who are participating. So it is the best marketing study platform also, I would call it, because you understand what kind of the products are being displayed. You have one product in your mind, you can go there and display there, but it may not be necessary that your product would be acceptable in the market. So when you go to a particular exhibitions, you need to be more observative of the fact that what is happening around you. So you can also see that which are the booths where more visitors are coming, so that you can go and see the products which are displayed over there. Even the other countries who have come over there, you can also see what products they are showcasing. You can understand the trends which are there, which are going on in that particular market. In addition to the display, a lot of these exhibitions have their separate conference sessions, which brings in a lot of experts from the respective industry and they generally talks about the industries as well as buying trends. There are fashion shows generally organized in these exhibitions, which generally gives you the latest trend as well as the potential of the upcoming trends in that particular country. So the idea of participating in a particular exhibition, not only to just display your product, just to have a mindset of the study also, like what exactly is happening in the market, so that you can understand your product, your product can be useful, and how your product needs to be modified. Another thing is that of the market presence. Your participation in an exhibition is crucial to establish your presence in the market and make connection beneficial for the business. See, as we have been witnessing, and in fact, I can also update you on that. After the pandemic, where we have been seeing a major shift in the sourcing requirements of the importers buyers across the globe. We are seeing that Indian companies are being are being approached for additional requirements, and we have and we can see from the statistics also that we added around almost $130 billion of exports in the last financial year. This shift has taken place. More and more foreign companies are looking at Indian companies. So what needs to be done? In fact, to get that business shift to our Indian companies, we need to be visible. We need to be present in that particular region. Unless we are visible, unless we are present, how the particular buyer or her particular importer will get to know what all we are there to offer. So our objective in this current financial year, or probably all the organization, would be present in maximum number of markets, so that we can display Indian companies, their potential, as well as so that the right shift can take place at the right time. So timing is very important. If you're not visible, probably the competitors will be there, they would be displaying their products, and probably they would get the business shifted to their market. Anyhow, we from our side, we are making all the efforts so that in all the important and major markets we are visible, and our Indian companies are present over there. Benefits to the business, just key takeaways, as I mentioned in my previous slides. Organic networking, there is no virtual networking happening in the physical shows. You meet in person, one-to-one people over there, businessman. Focus marketing is there. When you are targeting any country, you know that this is my market, so you are displaying your product for focusing on that particular market only. Brand building is one of the important aspect that you should keep in your mind when you are participating in any of the exhibition, because that brand building would give you more business in the future, more customers at one place. You don't need to go to a single customers to look for the buyers. Customers are, in fact, this is the other way around. You're not looking for the customers are coming to the exhibition and looking for the suppliers. So this is one of the best part of the exhibitions. Higher rate of investment. You don't need to travel to different countries for identifying your buyers. You can be at by identifying a good exhibitions. You can represent and go and cater to a particular region. You get to know about the latest knowledge of your industry through various conferences, seminars, or moving around in an exhibition itself. You get direct connection with the buyers, and it is crucial for the market study. You get to understand market trends, buying behaviors, as well as the future opportunities. Just in a nutshell, again, benefits to the industry, a great investment as attracting market influencers who spend more, network more, and recommend brands. A lot of people, in the exhibition, they are not only the buyers, but they are also the consultants, which writes about the market, which one writes about the products which are upcoming, so they can, direct the buying behavior of the customers. Exhibitions are face-to-face mediums, adding the unique human element, as I have discussed earlier. They are the powerful tools to create customer satisfaction and loyalty by providing memorable experience. You can, by in-person interactions, by in-person meeting the person, you can create that experience which can help further in generating business. It helps in exchange of the knowledge and cooperation, leading to creation of ideas and more project. It is diverse, dynamic. It is diverse. Uh, just diverse, dynamic, and inclusive industry that is truly international and proudly contributes in the economies and the other industries as well as its own. It enables industry to get in front of their target audience, which is the perfect opportunity to showcase brand, boost business image, gain media exposure, and overall draw attention to business. Organizations in a specific industry can showcase and demonstrate their latest products, service, study activities of competition, and examine recent trends and opportunity. These are some of the benefits to industry in nutshell. Now, coming to another important element of trade fairs and exhibition is how to find the right exhibitions for your business. A lot of people must be asking that which are the exhibitions appropriate for my business, where I should go, how should I participate. Not just in a nutshell, to give you an idea, right exhibition is a crucial as you are investing time, money, as well as energy. So it becomes a very important role. Here, I would like to call upon like a price that, here when you are choosing the right exhibition for your business, first and foremost, you need to understand your right market. What is the right market for your product, and what is the, the role of the councils as well as the EPCs. What is the most what is the most active regions, role of embassies in India. I will be just giving you brief on all these aspects. Market research, why do we need a market research before before looking for any exhibitions? You should understand that, where are your products in demand in the global market. See, you have created one, you have manufactured one product, but where it is being exported, or where the demand of that product is there. Once you identify the demand of your product in a particular market, you then need to identify an exhibition in that industry, and the preliminary desk market research of your product will equip you with the following knowledge of your product, like the performance of your product in international market. See, these are the desk as well as the secondary information, which secondary market research, which is easily available. You can log on to Ministry of Commerce website, www.commerce.nic.in. There, under the international trade statistics column, you get to know the country wise as well as product wise export destinations, as well as the quantity of the product which are being exported. You get to know the top country of your country of export of your product. You get to know the volume of your product. So based upon your product, see, every product, as you know, has an HS classification. So based upon your HS classification of your code, you can identify which market your product is going, and how and in what quantity it is going. That will help you in shortlisting your market. Another important aspect that you must keep in mind while identifying the market is that you also need to understand their import size, that is the market size, how much they are importing from across the globe. So that information is also easily available on the Intrasend website under the trade statistics column. It gives you a complete analysis of any country's imports, how much they are importing, from which countries they are importing, how much they are importing. And in fact, another important aspect, while you are selecting a market, you should also see whether your product is showing any growth in that particular markets. For example, I have seen that there is a market of say $100 billion in Japan. My product is apparels. Japan may have shown a growth of around say 40% of exports of imports from the previous year, but in apparels they might not have shown the growth, they might have shown the decline. So you need to understand the market demands, and then you should need to focus on any particular market. So that is one of
Sir,
the.
if I can interrupt here, a lot of people are asking you to repeat the website for the market data.
See, this
If
is
you can spell it out, yeah.
this is www.commerce, COMMERCE, commerce.com, and Intrasen, INTRACA, intrasen.in.
Yeah, one participant has sent it. I think it's commerce.nic.in.
Commerce.nic.in. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
Okay. So you can look for this kind of the trade statistics before identifying any exhibitions where you need to go for that. So first go for these kind of a desk research, and then look for the market in which your product is in demand, or probably it can be in demand in future depending upon the growth rate. And they, based upon that, you then need to shortlist your market for exhibitions. Now, which is the right exhibition for your business as well as for your products? In terms of the general statistics which we have identified, that from the visitors perspective, which generally everyone looks forward to, like how many visitors a particular exhibition will attract, we have seen that Europe is the largest market in terms of the exhibition participant, hosting around 112 million visitors, representing 1/3 of the visitors worldwide. That means that when we are shortlisting our markets for the exhibition, we have seen that Europe is also one of the areas, one of the regions where our product could be in demand. Then we should look for Europe as the market, or Europe as the area where we need to identify the exhibition. Then it is followed by North America, which has ranked second in terms of hosting 91.2 million visitors in the various exhibitions which are organized there. Then comes the Asia Pacific regions, where around 81.5 million visitors, generally representing 26.9% of the global visitors, come and participate in these exhibitions. So these are in terms of the markets which can be looked at before we finalize and look for any exhibitions in any of these countries. Now, here I would like to touch upon the role of export promotion councils, as well as the commodity, as well as the trade bodies. How the role of trade bodies and these councils can help Indian companies penetrate and participate in these international exhibitions. As I would like to inform that these trade promotion body like FIEO organizes various trade delegations, participate in international trade expos, catalog shows to explore opportunities of exporting products in other countries, and showcase countries' capabilities in different sectors. Here, I would like to add upon another element like catalog shows. Generally, catalog shows are the shows which are generally organized by the trade bodies as well as the Indian embassies, where the Indian companies, they do not represent. The Indian companies are requested to send their catalogs as well as product samples, and the Indian embassy in that particular region organizes these catalog shows, maybe at their own premises or in some exhibitions, or in some in some hotels, etc., where they invite the buyers, and these buyers are then they look at these brochures as well as the samples, and any inquiries these are generated are then passed on to the companies who generally send these these exhibits as well as these samples and all. In fact, this is very cost effective way. Generally, there's not much of the cost involved, but this is also one of the mediums through which one can have a database of the buyers. Another important element of participating through trade bodies as well as Federation of Indian Export Organization is that participating through them are highly subsidized by the Government of India, Ministry of Commerce. Here, what I would like to touch upon the schemes. In fact, Government of India has Ministry of Commerce has run a scheme known as MAI scheme, that is Market Access Initiative Scheme. Under this Market Access Initiative Scheme, the trade fairs and exhibitions which are approved by the Government of India, they are highly subsidized toward the participation cost. Generally, almost 50% of of the participation cost are subsidized. For example, in any of the US show, there is a cost of 9 square meter stand is say 5 to 6 lakh rupees. So if you go and participate through FIEO or through other councils, you will be getting the stand for maybe at a 50% cost, maybe at a 3 lakh rupees or something. That would depend upon the cost of the exhibition and the grant which we generally receive. Generally 50 to 60% of the participation cost is subsidized, and in addition to that, we as a participant, we also reimburse the airfare, economy class airfare to a company, and there are certain guidelines for that, like you need to have a 50 crore turnover in your last financial. It should be less than 50 crores of your turnover FOB value of export in the last financial year, and you should be having a membership of a 12 month with any of the councils or any of the FIEO. In fact, this scheme has primarily been focused on MSME sector, so that they can participate and explore business opportunities in potential country. And in fact, for one company, they can participate in 3 international shows, subsidized participation through these under this scheme. And the role of embassies also plays a very important role. In fact, we have seen that in the past 2 years, the Indian embassies have been quite active, and in promoting India's export, they have also been given separate targets, and they also support us in terms of inviting buyers, particularly for the business to business meeting. In addition to the trade fairs and exhibitions, there is another medium through which we can connect to the buyers, is the buyer seller meet. Buyer seller meet, in generally the buyer seller meet are mostly the focused meets, wherein there are no other countries participating, only the Indian companies are there, and with the support and help of Indian embassies as well as the respective chamber of commerce, the buyers are involved, buyers are invited, and one-to-one business meets are organized with Indian companies. Generally speaking, although all the regions are quite important, but of late we have seen that developing countries are witnessing more demand, as the products will be successful in developing countries. They are the emerging markets, and they're transitioning from a low income as well as less developed and often pre-industrial economy towards a modern industrial economy. Theirs. And developing countries have both a growing economy and a growing consumption population. But that would depend upon the kind of product which you are preparing. If your product is a high-tech product focusing on developed market, then I would suggest you go for the developed countries also. Just to give you an idea, since we have more than 200 countries across the globe, how do we identify or shortlist our regions and cater and identify and formulate our marketing strategy? So for the benefit of all, and from the government side also, whenever any interactions happens, these are the 10 regions, in fact, which in which the total the world is divided. One is the topmost is the Africa. Here you know that there are around 54 countries. So Africa region is the one region which is being focused. Then we have a EU region which has 28 countries. We have NAFTA region. NAFTA region covers North Africa, this covers North America, Latin America, and North America, Canada, as well as Mexico. This is the NAFTA region. Then we have a CIS region, that is Commonwealth of Independent State. Under these regions comes Russia, Kazakhstan, Belarus. All these CIS region countries comes under CIS region. Then we have ASEAN, that is Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, Laos, Cambodia. These regions come under ASEAN region. Then we have Oceania region. Under this Oceania region, we have New Zealand, we have Australia, we have Fiji, then we have Ghana region, West Asia, North Africa region. We have West Asian countries like this GCC countries comes under this, like UAE, Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman. All these countries come under Ghana regions. Then we have South Asia region, that is nearby regions, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Nepal. These countries come under South Asia region. Then we have an LAC region, Latin America region. That means we have Brazil, Argentina, Chile, Peru, and then we have NEA region, that was Northeastern Asian region, in which China, Hong Kong, Taiwan, all these regions come in. The idea is, all these regions have the different requirements, different demands, as well as different engagement with India. So the idea is to strategize as well as, prepare your marketing plan according to the demand as well as requirement of that region. In fact, one of the key things that one must keep in mind while devising a market, in fact, in terms of identifying your market in the initial stage, is to look for the free trade agreements or the comprehensive economic partnership agreement which India has signed, because that gives you an additional advantage in terms of the tariff preference which the importer will get. So they will have an advantage of sourcing from India for those products which comes under the comprehensive partnership agreement or the FTA agreement. So as we have recently seen that we have signed a India UAE CEPA, where mostly 90% of the products which will be going to the UAE country will be at a zero duty level. And similar is the arrangement with other free trade agreement, where most of the products will have a tariff advantage as compared to the other products which are sourced from the other countries. One of the important slides of my session, how to prepare for an exhibition. This is, first and foremost, I would like to advise all the companies. In fact, we keep on advising to all the participants through our own medium also, that one needs to invest in the design aspect of your booth. Generally, we have seen that as in when we go, there are a lot of investment done by the companies on the design part. As you see, as you would agree that people get attracted to what they see. If they see a good design, if they see a good product display of your product, they are going to get attracted. If you see a comparison, if there are two booths and the same pavilion, one is highly decorated, highly designed, and one is not normally designed, so obviously the buyer is going to go to that particular booth. So that needs to be kept in mind when we are going to any of the exhibition. Although it requires an investment, but it has its own return also. This we have witnessed in the past so many years. We need to distribute promotional material when we are displaying our product. It is just not it's not sufficient to just display your product. You need to have a strategy to attract buyers to your product, buyers to your booth. You need to come out with some innovative strategies of distributing promotional materials during the show, and you need to put up your best of the samples on display. See, we have seen that a lot many times people just come out with normal samples or some inferior quality samples, and generally it not only affects the image of the particular company, but it affects the image of the country as well. Time and again we have got the feedback from our Indian missions as well as from the other buyers, that we need to display in a much more professional manner, and we need to display the best samples on display in the exhibitions. We also need to study the behavior of the locals. See, when we go there, it is not necessary, as I told you in the beginning also, it is not mandatory to just look at your product. You need to have a exploratory attitude mindset. You need to see that what all products are being displayed by your competitors and all. I'll just give you an example. We were there in a show in Australia. One of my exhibitor had gone with his own manufactured product. It was a 3-day show. After the 3-day show, he came to me and said, Ashish ji, it was a total flop show. I could not get any single buyers of the show. Maine kaha, okay, let it be. People have got the businesses, but I would suggest you just go around the exhibition and see what all products were displayed by the other companies and all, and try to customize the product based on the products which are there. So he got the things, he understood. Then he thereafter, after 3 months time, he called me up. He said that, Ashish, although I didn't get some of the during the fair, I didn't get the buyer, but I got some inquiries, and based upon your suggestion, I'm trying to work on my new product line. So next year he again comes and participate in the exhibition, and by the end of the 3rd day, he comes and tell me, Ashish, this was the best of the exhibition of my last 10 years. I changed the products designs, as well as in fact the total product line I changed based upon the requirements. See, Australia is altogether a different market. It is a small market, but it is very high premium market. So you need to understand the demand as well as other requirements of those markets. So you just cannot take anything and say that why my product is not being sold in that particular market. So do those kind of those kind of the experiences you need to learn. And one thing I also in fact suggest to all the people who go and participate. See, when we go there, the event may be for 3 days or the 5 days, but we should not just limit ourselves to the event. Once the event is over, we should extend our experience in that particular country. We should go to the market, we should go to the malls, we should understand, we should talk to the industry, we should have an interaction with the industry people, we should understand their behavior, we should have a more interactive engagement in that particular country, because you are going there for the first time, or maybe for the number of other times. But we should make best use of the time when we are going in any particular country, to understand, to have more value, and to understand the future potential. And that information is easily available. That is not so difficult. And we also need to see the post event market surveys. We need to also, once we are through with the exhibition, it should not be, although I know people do that, but sometimes people just forget about the things. They don't do the right follow up with the buyers, and probably in the process, that leads gets dissolved, and that leads gets lost. So we need to be quite active, and particularly the time in which we are, we are witnessing a lot of demand requirement from the buyers, and we need to be quite aggressive and innovative in our approach. Connect with local trade chambers and associations. I have already informed you. This needs to be done on a very aggressive manner. This should be a part of your strategy when you're going in any particular country for the exhibition and shows. Hire translators. Yes, translators. Most of the countries which are not English speaking countries, you would require a translators, and it is one of the best strategy, because you will not be able to communicate if you know the language good enough. But if you don't, the needs of the translator is well required, and we have seen that most of the exhibitors who goes there hire the translator. It is a small investment which is quite useful. And another thing is that you need to also understand the local language. If you are a local language, I mean to say that if you are able to translate all your all your brochures and all in the local languages, also in your visiting cards also, that will give them the local touch. They will understand, the buyers will understand that you are really interested in that particular market. So that kind of preparation would really give you an edge as compared to your competitors, and you will be able to get better business deal as compared to if you go with the normal preparations. These are some of the feedback, some of the observations which we have witnessed through our participation in the last so many years. Just to give you a glimpse, this is just an average booth design by any of the company, and this is an attractive booth design. So you can yourself think of where the buyer will go in the first go. So you need to understand the importance of design, as well as investment in the design, as well as display. Before I close, I would just like to add on about one important aspect. This is the ATA Carnet. This is the passport for goods. ATA Carnet is an international custom documents that permits the tax-free and duty-free temporary export and import of non-perishable goods for up to 1 year. The ATA Carnets, in fact, permits duty-free temporary admission of goods into a member country without the need to raise customs bond, payment of duty, and fulfillment of other custom formalities in one or more number of foreign countries. In fact, when you go and take your samples along with you, generally you are required to pay custom duties if you are not bringing back your goods to countries. So in order to bypass that, there is a ATA Carnet. There are 78 countries are following these ATA Carnets, and in India, Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce, like FICCI, has been appointed by the National Guaranteeing and Issuing Association for ATA Carnets. You can take that ATA Carnet, and you can have that kind of a certificate, and you can take the product, but the only condition is that you have to bring back those goods back to the country. More details you can have it from the FICCI, as they are the nodal agency for ATA Carnet. This is from my side as of now. I would be happy to respond to any of your queries. And just for the information of all, Federation of Indian Export Organization, an apex body set up by Ministry of Commerce, is a 55 years young organization, I would call it. And we are ready. We are here for you to serve you for your endeavor into international trade. And we have more than 35,000 members as of now, and we, by virtue of our services, the numbers is increasing, and we intend to serve our members as well as the Indian community in their endeavor to promote trade and enter into the international market. Even after this, if any of the participants have any queries related to their their international trade endeavors, just be in touch with us. We'll be more than happy to serve you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ashish. I think more than questions, people are left with a lot of feedback that it was a very insightful session, and they're thanking you, thanking FIEO. But we still do have a couple of queries, and more towards how do I become a member of FIEO? Is it required to is whether RCMC is required for FIEO? So if you can address both these questions first.
Yes,
Mr. Ashish,
Single task.
I- sorry, Mr. Ashish, we lost you entirely. If you can
What?
say
Yeah,
that again.
I would like to repeat here that membership. We, as I told you, we have 17 offices in India, and wherever you are located, based upon the location, you can contact our 17 offices. The details of our 17 offices are there on our website www.fieo.org, and we will be happy to provide you the membership very means quite easily, as well as with not an issue, and it's not very charge high priced also. In terms of getting the, is it mandatory to get the RCMC? See, RCMC is mandatory to get the foreign trade policy benefits when you are exporting, and if you are not availing any foreign trade policy benefit, then it may not require. But generally, in case you see, the importance I tell you of RCMC is that when you would like to participate in any of the shows which are subsidized, if you want to like to avail the subsidy, then you need to have the membership of any of the councils, and that to 12-month membership. Otherwise, you will not be able to avail that subsidy subsidized cost, as well as the airfare participation. So if even if you take, and other than that, there are a lot of networking opportunities which you will be able to get by taking the membership. It is not just a it's a piece of paper. It's a piece of paper. It's the opportunities which you'll get. As I would like to mention that we would be participating in more than 50 international shows across the globe. We run more than more than 50 capacity building programs every month, happening almost every day. Our regions, our chapter, these are the hand holding activities which we are doing, and above all, we are addressing a lot of your issues with our counterparts, and we also take up your issues with our Indian embassies. We do a lot of research studies that would further help you in augmenting your efforts in export promotion. So in a nutshell, even if you don't take foreign trade policy benefits, there are a lot of benefits which will come to you through membership of the federation.
Absolutely. Definitely encouraging all of you all to become a FIEO member as well. There are 35,000 members today who contribute about 70% of exports of India. So there are a couple of questions now regarding, is there any portal that can connect us with foreign buyers? So given that FIEO has recently launched the Indian business portal, I think it will be nice for all of them to hear about it.
Yes, see, based upon the request, based upon the feedback of our members as well as the business community, we have launched the Indian business portal, and Indian business portal is going to be, the torch bearer for giving you the details of the buyers. In fact, we have a strong, marketing strategy in place to invite buyers for Indian business portal. We are interacting with our Indian missions abroad. We have signed more than 100 MOUs with the trade chambers across the globe. We are interacting with them to come and register their members on the Indian business portal. So Indian business portal, through Indian business portal, you will be able to have an access of a valid as well as genuine buyers in the time to come. I would request all of you to just build up your online store on that, and so that you are whenever we have already started the marketing of the Indian business portal, and you will be able to have an access to that valid as well as a genuine buyer. In addition to that, I would also like to mention that we have an India Trade portal where we upload trade and tender inquiries which we receive from our Indian missions abroad. You can, as a member, but that is available for the members. You can also have an access to that and have a look at the various inquiries which are uploaded on a regular basis.
Absolutely. I'll take this time to actually just, there were a couple of people asking for the link of the portal as well as what it entails. I'll just take a minute or so to share the video once again.
Yeah.
Did you know that Indian e-commerce exports are expected to grow to $125 billion by 2030? Federation of Indian Export Organizations, in its constant endeavor to help Indian exporters grow, is pleased to introduce an e-commerce marketplace to support our Indian exporters get global visibility. Federation of Indian Export Organizations, in partnership with Global Linker, launches Indian Business Portal, an international trade hub for Indian exporters and foreign buyers. Indian Business Portal is focused on promoting exports from all Indian states, showcasing India's strength in wide range of products and services, encouraging virtual meetings between buyers and sellers, providing a trusted network to foreign buyers. Finally, fueling the growth of Indian exporters through e-commerce. Buyers and sellers can trade in 4,500 plus product categories. Special focus on empowering Indian artisans, farmers and producers, dealing in over 370 Indian geographical indication categories. Over 30,000 unique products and services are already listed, and more are getting listed every day. Indian exporters and SMEs can join Indian Business Portal to get a free e-commerce website with international payments and logistics, showcase their products and services in different categories and currencies, accept orders and inquiries from foreign buyers, get support and assistance from FIEO and global linker teams. Join as a seller in 3 easy steps. Visit Indian Business Portal and click on List Products. Verify your importer-exporter code, add business and product details. Activate payments and logistics. Foreign buyers can register too. Find all verified suppliers at one place. Browse from various categories and products. Interact directly with suppliers. Get support and assistance from FIEO. Join as a buyer in 3 easy steps. Register yourself as a buyer. Add your business information. Choose categories that you are interested in. FIEO will promote the marketplace worldwide to help Indian exporters, SMEs, artisans promote their products and services globally. Come on board and create your business profile today on the Indian Business Portal, www.indianbusinessportal.in. To get started, FIEO is inviting more than 5,000 foreign buyers from different countries to register on Indian Business Portal. Join Indian Business Portal. List your products and services now.
Right, and I must tell you, Ashish ji, there are a couple of, I would say a lot of store owners who've already started sharing their URL here and expressing interest to be a part of the Indian Business Portal. Quickly moving on to a couple of other questions. Mr. Nikhil Sharma, Payal Ghosh, a lot of them are asking, what is the ideal budget to keep in place for trade shows, exhibitions? Is there any minimum cost that you would want to recommend?
Yeah, this is a very good question. In fact, we must keep some budget in our mind, and I can give you a ballpark figure, but obviously it will be different for different regions as well as different markets. For example, I tell you, if you are focusing an event in Nepal, for example, so the cost of participation would be less, as the transport, as the logistics, airfare cost, as well as the other costs would be less. But if you plan to participate in an event in, say, US, in Mexico, or as well, or maybe in Brazil, so the cost of participation will be much higher, because advantage, in fact, but
Yeah, we lost you
yeah,
in between. Yeah.
am I audible now?
Yes, yes.
So I was saying that, before I give you some ballpark figure, I would also like to advise on the fact that, every region, every exhibition will have a different, budget. Because in Nepal, if you do a exhibition, it will be different. And if you do it in US, or if in Mexico, or in some other parts of the region which are far off from this place, so obviously the cost of participation as well as would be different, because basic cost, maybe say, for example, the airfare cost would be higher as compared to your nearby regions. But saying that, one should keep at least 5 to 7 lakh rupees as a bare minimum cost if you are looking for any exhibition, because that cost, I would let you know what all that cost would comprise. That cost will comprise of your airfare, your hotel stay, your visa charges, your local transportation, as well as the cost of the exhibition. The cost of exhibition could be if you're participating through any of the subsidized costs, then 50% would get subsidized. And another element, advantage of participating through FIEO would be that airfare reimbursement would also be there. So that cost would also get reduced if you go and participate through the federation. But it is not mandatory. I tell you, I would like to mention that it's not just mandatory. Say, maybe it may be the possibility that the product for which you are exploring a market, we may not be participating in that product specific show. So you have any other product specific show happening in that particular market, and you wish to participate in that, do participate in that, do go and participate in that. Just don't look for the subsidy part, because it is your business. So you have to strategize. You can identify some of the 4 and 5 exhibitions across the year, across the region, particularly based upon your secondary research, that these are the markets which I would like to cater to. That identify the good exhibitions. You can explore the various events which are hosted on our website, on the respective council websites, and you can draw a strategy like these are the fairs which I would like to attend. In addition to that, one thing which I missed in my presentation was that to talk about RBS, and this is the reverse bias alarm meet. What do we mean by reverse bias alarm meet? Is that we as an organization organize bias alarm meet in India, not in overseas. So what we do is that we get certain kind of a support from the government of India to invite foreign buyers. As you might have seen that Handicraft Export Promotion Council, Textile Export Promotion Council, Apparels, the Council for Leather Export, they do a lot of the trade shows in India. So what they do is that they invite the buyers to India. So probably the companies are exhibiting in India only. So the cost of travel and the cost of other aspects of these are get reduced. So these are also the way through which one can look at participating and getting connected to the buyers. So this is in general means I wanted to talk about it.
Absolutely, Mr. Jain. Just combining a couple of questions from Mr. Bhatti, Mr. Singh, Manvi Bharwa. But the basic essence of the question is that how does one get to know about virtual exhibitions? Is there any place you can recommend where they can showcase their products virtually as well as get to know about the various exhibitions happening?
See, I tell you, if you are any product specific, if your product is any specific product is there, you can look for product specific councils, and then you can also look for the various chambers like FIEO, FICCI, CII, PhD, ITP, and all. So there is no single place where you can have a collective display of all the exhibitions which are going to be held. So you need to look at the respective website to look for the to look for any exhibition in a particular country.
Sure. Also adding in there, I think Mr. Jain, FIEO Global Linker as well has a lot of virtual events and exhibitions that are displayed. In fact, FIEO puts in weekly trade alerts as well that they could benefit from.
Exactly.
Sure. So I think again, how do I become a member of FIEO, Mr. Himanshi Sharma? So Mr. Jain, if you can maybe ask somebody to call in these people, they would want to really get enrolled fast.
You share their numbers with us. I will transfer their numbers to my respective regions, and they will be happy to be in touch with them.
Sure.
I would also like to submit here through this platform is that the participants who have joined, whichever market they are interested in, just kindly share the their destination countries with us. We from our side also will share the important trade shows which we intend to do in those markets, particularly the subsidized market. It will help you getting enrolled for that. So just let us know which particular markets you are interested in if you already know the markets of your products.
Absolutely. So I can now see again chats coming in on that they want to join FIEO. They've shared their numbers. So I think, Mr. Jain, as we've crossed the time, we still do have a lot of members asking in questions, but I'll request them to probably drop an email and we can have all of them answered collectively.
Yes.
Thank you so much for doing this insightful session today. I'm sure each of them echo what I'm saying, but it was honestly a pleasure to have you and have you share such valuable information, giving websites that they can actually look on to. Thank you for joining us today, and thank you all the members for being such an engaged audience, asking so many questions, learning as well as sharing knowledge with each other.
Thank you, Malvika. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, in fact, to interact with so many people. Thank you all, and thank you everyone for joining us today. Have a wonderful day and wonderful future. God bless all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.